Yo, what's going on, everyone? Thanks so much for tuning in to today's video. Today we were joined by Markuss Hussle, the founder of Aura Consulting and pretty much the whole OFM industry. He joined up on one of the Start-Your-SaaS weekly coaching calls. The amount of value from this call was absolutely insane. I could probably even sell the video if I wanted to, but I may as well just drop it on here for everyone to watch. If you don't know what the Start-Your-SaaS community is, I run a free mentorship program for people wanting to start their own white labeled SaaS companies using a software called Go High Level. It's completely free to get started. All you need to do is sign up to High Level using my link down below. High Level have reached out to me and we've partnered up, and they've now given me access to a 30-day exclusive free trial link. The link for that is down below. If you want to get started and join up the community, literally just sign up using my link and that's everything. You get access to a free course, weekly coaching calls, a community, and one-to-one mentorship. But all that aside, we'll jump straight into the recording of the call and enjoy.
All good, guys. Lovely to meet you.
You too, man. You too. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Like,
me and Jason were just speaking before you guys all jumped in. It's like it's strange for me. It's like only recently I'm starting to build like this personal brand, and people are like recognizing me and like saying like, oh my god, I can't believe it's actually you on the call. And I'm like, man, I'm just a normal person. I'm nothing that crazy.
yeah.
But I'm super.
Ages,
I'm super geeked to be on here, guys. Drop some value, answer some questions. Yeah, thank you for having me, Jason.
Yeah, of course, man. No, cheers for your time. Jason
hooked it up like time, mate.
Just gonna meet one or two more people here. What do we see?
Markuss, how are you doing anyways, lad? You all good?
Yeah, all good, brother. We're kind of rebranding a bunch of things, just relaunching. One thing that I've so I'll give you all a bit of context, obviously, in a bit, once more people join in terms of kind of what I do. But just as a little side note, I'm sure most of you guys know, but I'm heavily into info products. And one thing that I've kind of learned now, that per info product, it has a lifespan, and I would say roughly it lasts about 4 to 6 months until this info product just becomes fucking stale, boring, leaked. You name it. So that's kind of what we're finding with our courses at the moment. So we're just re-recording the mini course, the main course, and just kind of re-recording everything. So that's what we got going on. And we literally just launched an affiliate program. So you guys know how, you know how Andrew Tate just went fucking viral. We're doing kind of the same thing. And so we're going to have like a bunch of guys on TikTok resharing like our content, going crazy with it. And we're giving them 81% commission on everything that they sell. So we're giving away pretty much everything, which is quite funny. But yeah, no, thank you for the question, Jamie. All good, bro. All good. What do you have going on, Jamie?
Oh, I just started work. I just rushed up. Just find a couple of questions there. Like really, I really want these answered. So I can just dive into everything. And do you know what I mean? So I have a couple of things on the schedule tonight. The gym, and then I'll be back, and then try and focus on some things. That's the plan today.
Wicked. Cool, man. Yeah.
You want to take it away? Go ahead, Jimmy. Work away.
No problem. Well, I have two. I have three questions. Sorry. Two is mindset and one's business. So I'm just going to jump straight into them. The first one is like, that's a wee bit of backstory. I have a lot of discipline when it comes to the gym, and like I do runs every night. I do the gym every night, and I eat well. I have a lot of discipline in that area. But what I want to know is like, do you have like any ways I can convert that and the business side of things, and like really try and focus more on like things I should be doing on the business side of things?
So what exactly are you asking me? Is it more about discipline or figuring out what is the thing that moves the needle forward more in terms of business?
Kind of both.
A bit of both,
yeah, it's about both, yeah.
Sure. I mean, so I think overall, you're basically asking like, what can I be doing daily to move the business forward the most, right? Which is like what everybody wants to do. Everybody wants to optimize like their time and energy to actually make sure the business moves forward as quickly and as effectively as possible, right? Okay, cool. So first of all, you obviously, I'm sure you, well, what is it that you do, by the way, Jamie? Just so I have some context. What's the business?
I'm doing the SaaS, the same as Jason, but like a target like home improvements. So that's what I do. I try and get them, on a call and try and pitch them SaaS. Pretty much, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you do currently to get more clients?
Just outreach, cold DMs, cold, Facebook, just everything, cold everything. Do you get what I mean? So I'm trying to just literally that's all I'm doing right now, like just to try and build up some clientele.
Okay, mate. And so when you say everything, you mean like every platform, right? Like Facebook, LinkedIn,
Yeah,
Instagram,
Facebook,
emails.
LinkedIn. I've been trying to get a lot on LinkedIn, but it's kind of hard and trying to figure out. Do you know what I mean? I've been using Wallsay to get, kitchen fitters, home improvement businesses, just everything, and then send them out, like, you know, just cold emails and all that kind of stuff. And like, do you know what I mean? So it's stuff
Sure.
like that. It's all right. Like it's going well.
And what seems to be working the best out of all of them?
I would say the Facebook ones, because I've like this wee thing I do. So I'll go on the ads, and then it's like home improvement ads, and I'll go on to them, and it's people like interested in the ads. So then I'll just go on there and then text them, whatever my wee elevator pitch kind of, and then so forth, and then they'll text back, and then we'll go back and forth to we chat, and then I'll try and get them on the call. But the problem I have is my sales, selling stuff is I'm not the best, so that's what I'm trying to improve on most. But um, it's I just haven't been able to find that wee selling point where I can just sell them on something and buying them as a client really.
Mm-hmm. So finding them doesn't seem to be an issue, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Getting them on the call is okay at the
Yeah,
moment, yeah?
yeah, that's fine as well.
When you're on the Zoom call, converting them into a paying client, that way you
That's
seem to have a
the
bit of an
part
issue.
where I'm lacking. I literally bought this
Okay,
book yesterday. How do
cool.
one friend and influence people just bought that yesterday, so I'm reading that. So I'm gonna try and pick up a couple of things in that there and use it. But
Wicked, cool. So that book, by the way, for everybody else, if you guys haven't read it, I like fucking live by it. Like you have to read it. It's such an amazing book. It's not specifically just about sales. It's about psychology, but sales is psychology. So they work hand in hand. And yeah, Jamie, you're gonna love it, mate. After you read that book, the concept of it is it gets you to understand when you want somebody to do something for you, how can you position the question or the favor to actually benefit that person, right? Rather than always like trying to get something from people, you're kind of asking them in a way how they would actually benefit doing that thing for you as well. Anyway, the book is great. I recommend you guys reading it. So Jamie, you particularly, bro. So it seems to be like the sales school itself, so the Zoom call. What part of the Zoom call is it like the beginning, the middle, the end?
it's
What kind of objections are they giving you?
it's kind of all of it. It's like even I try and start off just to get to know them a wee bit, and then I ask them questions, and just kind of like the things of along the lines of like if I just say made you an extra 10K like a month, like would that help your business? Like, do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. And then I'll go on the like how I can do that, which is reputation management or like sending out doing like ad campaigns or something like that. There, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But then it's like I get the objections, and it's like I just don't know how to handle them. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to figure that part out, but I just don't know what to say then, and then I kind of fumble a wee bit, and then it just doesn't.
oh, good. Oh, good, bro. So, okay, so let me ask you one more question, and I'll probably figure out how I can help you. So, what is the actual offer in terms of what are you going to deliver, and how much does it cost, and how do they pay it?
Right. So the offer that's the business too. Like I want to that's another question, but the offer I'm trying to I don't have a defined offer right now. It's kind of like all over the place. And that's why I have another question here. They try and get some information from you so I can just implement it as fast as possible so I can,
Sure.
try and convert some sales. But really it's just selling SaaS, reputation management, like trying to add on maybe like 30K to their business every couple of months, whatever it is. But it's not like defined, so I'm trying to really focus on that.
Okay, so that's huge. Offer, you have to know what the
Yeah,
fuck your offer is. It can vary and it can depend client to client, but you must know what your offer is because otherwise it'll be pretty difficult to sell it, bro. Also, I'm assuming you have no case studies, no results, no.
nope.
Okay, cool. So
No.
here's something. Here's the first piece of advice I want to give to all of you guys, right? I'm assuming most of you in here are just starting out or kind of early stages in business. So here's something that I learned the hard way. All right, guys. So what actually helps you guys close the most isn't reading and watching Jordan Belfort and watching The Wolf of Wall Street and reading all these books and going through all these courses about sales and all this stuff. Granted, yes, it has a net positive. It will help you at least a little bit. But what actually sells the most are your results. right? So the only reason why some of you guys, I think some of you guys know who I am, some of you guys don't, but the guys that you know who I am, the only reason why you're listening here and you're willing to spend your time, and I appreciate you on listening, you know, me talking here, is because I have some results. I've generated something. So you think, all right, fair enough. This guy has at least achieved something. Let me listen to what he's got to say, right? If I hadn't have generated anything in my entire journey, you'd be like, who the fuck is this dickhead like chatting shit, right? So your prospects, your potential clients will think the same, right? So when you guys are all starting out, it doesn't matter what you're selling, what service, what product, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're selling, if there is no previous results, if there are no previous testimonials, case studies, the chances of you selling that thing is exponentially harder than if you had a bunch of results and testimonials showcase. So where am I going with this and why am I saying that? Jamie, your goal at the moment, brother, is actually just to try and just give it to as many people as possible, with the hopes that they will then come back and give you some feedback, a testimonial, and you can build a case study from their experience if it was good, right? If it was shit, obviously don't, you know, have that as a case study. So here's again, I don't know exactly what your prices are and how you're going to do it, but I'll just give you another piece of advice. Everybody should read $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi.
I tried to order that, but then no one has it. It's annoying. Like, so I have to try and get like an audiobook or something out there, maybe.
Yeah, you can get audiobooks. That's fine. And also it's on Kindle. If you have a Kindle, I believe it was like, I can't remember, £15 or something, but it's very, very good. And in that book, Alex explains how to have like a no-brainer offer. Now to give you guys like a really quick example, the average agency owner, this was me when I was starting out, I would go to my potential client and I would say, hey, I will do Facebook ads for you for £2,000 a month. And I would expect them to pay me the 2K up front. And then that's the average person, right? Now, what Alex would do is he would say, cool, let me try and figure out another way how we could offer the same thing, but actually charge a lot more and still close at a higher closing rate. Typically, those things shouldn't make sense, but it did the way he done it. The way he done it was he would go to, he would work with gym owners. He would go to gym owners and he would say, hey, look, based on my previous clients, I am confident in saying I can increase your income by an extra 30,000 per month. Now, if I do that, all you have to do is just pay me a small setup fee of $1,000. And if I do increase your income by an extra 30,000 by the end of the first month, you then just have to pay me an extra $10,000. Now, if I don't do that in the first month, I will work for free until I have added an extra 30,000 to your bottom line revenue. All right. So there's no loss on anyone's end. On Alex's end, he gets the $1,000 up front, and you know, he would genuinely get them an extra 30K a month. I know he completely different to what you're doing, Jamie, but the principle is still the same. So maybe try and offer something like where they pay a small setup fee, and then maybe they're like the first 2 months is free or something like that. But the point I'm trying to make is your goal right now, bro, is just to try and get as many clients on board. You need testimonials and case studies. One more advice I can give you, and for everybody else as well. This is something that I used to do as well when I was starting out. I actually used to offer free 1-hour coaching calls. So again, for a bit of context, because some of you guys might not know who I am, I initially started in SMMA about 6-7 years ago. I built it to multiple 6 figures. Then I went to coaching and consulting, and I now, a bit random, but I now do OnlyFans management, and we do coaching within that, right? Anyway, with the SMA and the marketing agency, one thing that I found, and I realized, look, I just need as many case studies and results as possible. I didn't really want to give out 3-month trials because 30 days, it's a whole month. I don't want to do it for free, but I still want to have as many like testimonials and like videos and content to showcase that I've worked with all these law firms. I used to work with law firms, by the way. So one thing that I would do is I would reach out to these lawyers and I would offer them for free 1-hour coaching call. And I will tell you everything you need to do to get more clients for your law firm for free. In return, you just have to let me record the Zoom call, and you have to let me obviously post it on my social media and tag you in it. And that's all. And obviously they would say, yes, why not? It's a free 1-hour coaching call. Yeah. And then from there on, all of a sudden, my entire LinkedIn was just filled with like case studies and Zoom calls and clips. And it looked like, right, here's the caveat. It looked like I was working with all of these law firms, but I wasn't. It was just a 1-hour coaching call. And because of that, because I put in all those hours of doing these free coaching calls, I had so many fucking clients, and some of them turned into clients as well. It was a 1-hour coaching call. They loved me so much. They thought I was such a genius, even though I told them about the basics. And they just signed up as a client. So that's another piece of advice I can give you, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's big. That's big time here. Right. So I have one. Well, you can answer my question, but we'll go on the business manager. So I was going to ask, like, how is your like offer structured from everyone else? Like obviously you're doing a lot of sales. Like, do you know what I mean? So you have a secret that maybe not us we don't know. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I just want to know
sure.
how we can like implement that on our offer.
Okay, fantastic. So this is something, so I'm at the stage now where I'm very, very fortunate, but I'm able to hire kind of the top of the top of the industry. So the people that I've got working for me right now are the same people that worked with Sam Ovens, Iman Gatsi, Ty Lopez. So for example, our head of sales is directly the same guy who worked with Iman Gatsi. Our head of advertisement is the same guy who worked with Ty Lopez and Sam Ovens, and so on and so on. The reason why I'm saying this is because they now bring in a whole new plethora of knowledge that I wouldn't know of, because they have been working with these guys for so many years. And one thing that the guy who worked with Ty Lopez has brought to the table is the whole waterfall pricing. So he called it the waterfall pricing. Okay. Now, the principle is very simple. It's essentially you want to have a price and you want to have an offer at every single price point. So for example, it'll start at $7 all the way to like 25,000 fucking dollars. So if you go on any of Ty Lopez's websites, you guys will notice this. He has an offer for like $7 for like 50, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's something like this. It's like $7, $15, $50, $100, $200, $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $25,000. Right? You guys get the idea.
Yeah.
And so far we've implemented, free main offers. So we have a £37 mini course. £37 is enough to be an impulse buy, because you don't have to think about £37. But I feel like anything above like 50 is where a lot of people do actually have to still think about it. Like, oh, it's £50. I don't know if I want to buy that. So 37 is like a great in between. Then we have a course for $499. And then we have the main coaching, which is $3,000. All right. Or £3,000, sorry. So piece of advice there, Jamie, in terms of offers and pricing, try and kind of have offers for different tiers. All right. Now, again, I don't know exactly what you're offering and how it all works. I need to have a different call with you. But just have a think about what else could you offer. So one thing that I remember, if you guys have heard of Jordan Platten. So Jordan Platten had I don't know, I think he still runs it. I think he still runs his marketing agency. And he would obviously work with like ecom brands and lead generation companies and so on and so on. And it was fantastic. He was making, I don't know, multiple six figures a month. Now, he then implemented essentially like this course for clients that couldn't afford his service, but he could still downsell them on that. And he made fucking hundreds of thousands of pounds off of the back of that. It was only like, I can't remember, but it's called learnads.io, I believe, or .co, learnads.co. I can't remember the pricing, but I believe it was like £200, £400. And again, it's the same principle. He has his main service, which was like, I don't know, £6,000. But if you can't afford that, he will then downsell you at least something, right? And it's the same with us. So if somebody jumps on a call with us and they can't afford the £3,000, we'll then downsell them on the course of $499. If for some reason they can't afford that, then we'll just send them the £37. So therefore, every single call that we do, somebody can still, pay us at least something. So hopefully that's giving you some ideas there, Jamie.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Honestly, and Robert can take away now. You've answered everything. So honestly, man, thank you.
Cool, Jamie.
Big time, right? Thank you.
All good.
How are you, Marcus? Nice to meet you, man.
Likewise, mate. Likewise.
I just wanted to ask you a question. You were talking about the free 1 hour consultation call. When you're recording those, are you recording the after, like how they do after you tell them everything what to do, or you do it during?
Great. So I would record it during the Zoom call. So first of all, by the way, I know I already mentioned it, but I really need to reinstate this again. You need to, before you fucking jump on a Zoom call, and obviously you press record, you need to double, if not triple check with them that they are okay to be recorded. They are okay to have their camera on, because if it's just like, no camera, if it's just like this and you're just talking to them like this, like, sure, it's, whatever, it's still a video, but it doesn't look as good when you can see the person, right? So just fucking double and triple check that they are okay to be recorded, they're going to have their camera on, and they're in a quiet area, whatever. All right. But to answer your question, Robert, yeah, I would record the Zoom call itself. Now, I did not do this back then because I didn't really think about it. But if I was to do it now, one more thing that I would do as well, guys, is get like your phone, or obviously if you have a professional camera, then even better, but get like a second camera. So one would be like your webcam, obviously, right? And then get another camera, which would be like on the side of your monitor, or like, for example, like here. It doesn't matter where the fuck you put it, but basically it's like a second angle. And press record as well. So you're recording the screen through Zoom and your webcam, but you're also recording another angle, which would be like from here, from your phone or a professional camera. Again, why are you doing that? It's just to keep the video a bit more entertaining, right? Because everybody hates fucking looking at Zoom calls. Like, it's just a screen recording. It's so boring. Everyone got bored back in like 2020 when lockdown happened, right? Everybody was doing Zoom call podcasts and stuff. So just to keep it a little bit more entertaining and like a different camera angle, just add like your phone on the side. Trust me, is going to help your watch through rate, which will then improve your reach, which then will improve more leads and more clients. So yeah, hopefully I answer your question, Robert.
Cool. Yeah, that did answer my question. And then another question. I'm working right now on like a quick ebook, just as you were saying with the whole waterfall thing. I'm working on an ebook to give away to people. So I'm doing like a kind of like a market research quiz for people within my niche. And I'm going to offer it to those for free. But then after that, should I leave it on for free, like just on my website for people to get it for a while and then change it to like a paid for like, I don't know, like let's say $10, $20, or put it up to pay straight away?
Interesting. First of all, as you were saying that, an idea I got in my mind, Robert, try it. But in my personal, right, guys, put a 1 in the chat here. Because I want to see. So put a 1 in the chat if you believe that even if it's the same ebook, right? Let's just say Robert's ebook is the same fucking ebook, right? But one of them is just the ebook itself, so like a PDF, right? And then one of them is a Loom video of him reading the PDF, right? But he positioned this as like a course. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe this would be quote unquote more valuable, if you would perceive it to be more valuable than just an ebook, right? So I want to see what people are thinking. Yeah, so most people put a 1. So Robert, right there, at least try it, bro. What I'd recommend you doing, because you're going to write the ebook anyway, bro, yeah. Just record a Loom video of you. You don't have to read the whole thing word by word, of course, but just let's just say it has like 4 paragraphs, right? Just on the Loom, just go through each paragraph and just give a bit more context, right? And then that's the thing that you're selling. That's the thing that you're giving away, okay. Right? Or selling, for example. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing, to answer your direct question, which was, should I do it for free and then sell it? It depends on your audience. I think that's what it will come down to. It depends on the size of your audience. So if you have like, I don't know, less than like 1,000 people who are like actually following you, then I would say, if you have less than 1,000, then do it for free. If you have more than like 1,000, 2,000, then you can try and sell it straight away. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Perfect. That everything?
Yeah. Yeah. That's everything. Yeah. Cheers, man. Right. Thanks.
Wicked. Cool, Robert.
Perfect. Taking it back a bit there, Markuss, like, do you want to give us a bit of background information on like everything to do with like your life growing up, all that kind of stuff, to where it led you to where you are now, sitting on a big penthouse out in Dubai?
Sure. Just really quickly. Sorry guys, I really need to do something in the background here. I'm really sorry. This is very important. So really quick background about myself. So I was born in Eastern Europe. It's a little place called Latvia. So I was born there. I lived there till I was 10 years old. My parents split up when I was 10. I moved to the UK with my mum. It's funny, I've done a podcast a little while ago, and somebody asked me like, what do you think was, has helped you get to your success? And I said, luck. And they're like, what the fuck do you mean? I was like, do you understand how lucky I was to be able to be like moved to a place like the UK when I was 10 years old? Like, the opportunities here are crazy. Like, my cousin is still in Latvia and his opportunities are not like here. Like, nobody has money in Latvia. Latvia is a very fucking poor country, put it that way. But anyway, yeah, I started my first business, which was SMA, a marketing agency. I dropped out of college. I done media there. I did not enjoy it. I never went to uni. Done SMA. It was all right. I worked with car dealerships. This was back in 2018, 2017, all the way up to about 2020. I got it to about £20,000 a month working with car dealerships. COVID struck. I lost all my clients. This was April 2020. I then started working with e-com brands, and I didn't really enjoy that. This is also, by the way, when I say working with them, I was doing Facebook and Instagram paid ads. And then I started working with law firms and done that for about a year. And that's where I made a lot of my wealth. I'm not passionate about law firms. I don't care about law. I never went to law school, but I just done it for the money. And also law firms is like one of the only lead gen business models that stayed open during lockdown. So I was like, cool, it's a win-win. I make a lot of money and it's bulletproof, right? Even if there's another lockdown. Done that for about a year. I got pretty bored. Started traveling for 2 years. I met a lot of girls who were doing OnlyFans. And I was like, cool, that's pretty interesting. I saw how much money they were making and I was like, cool, this could be another business idea. Well, that's a lie. I didn't think of it straight away as a business idea, but I was just helping them with marketing, so on and so on. And then one of them wanted me to like properly be like her manager because she could see that I know what the fuck I was talking about. It's just marketing. I just knew what to do with marketing online. And then that's how I kind of started this whole OFM thing without realizing it. And then this is where we are. So I got into OnlyFans management about 2 years ago now. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. And right now we manage a couple of girls online. I'm not so big in the management side of things anymore. I'm really more geared towards the education. So we're coaching young guys on how to start an OnlyFans agency. That's going crazy. It's very not unsaturated at the moment. Yeah, that's a bit of background, Jason. Yeah. Without boring people too much.
Perfect. Yeah. Good stuff, man. What do you see, Chris? If you want to go next, bro.
Yeah, first I want to say thank you for hopping on the call. And I'm also Latvian as well, funnily enough.
Oh, cool.
So it's sick to see what you're doing. So basically, I run an SMMA as well, like as you previously did. And I work with business coaches. I'm actually quite thankful that I've built up a good script from trial and error over many months. So I'm booking like 3 to 5 calls a week. But then when it actually gets to the call, like they just sound happy, interested and all. But then when it actually comes to actually collecting the money and onboarding them is where the real barrier is. And I was wondering, what would you say in that case?
Cool. Okay.
Because I also have a business partner who helps with the thing. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, there's a bit of a lag there, Chris. So first of all, this is something that I learned after jumping off of a call with Trey Cockram. If you guys know Trey Cockram. So I thought I was doing okay. I must have been doing about, I don't know, £6,000-7,000 a month at this point. So this was very, very early in my career, right? And I was doing, probably like 6,000-7,000 a month with my agency. And I was averaging about 30 to 40 appointments a month. If I'm honest, probably about 30 appointments a month, like sales calls, right? Now, Trey was doing, I can't remember at the time, maybe like 200,000 a month. And that motherfucker was doing like 30 appointments a day, like 20, 30 a day. So anyway, he was like, bro, you're just not setting enough appointments. And that's the biggest thing. So Chris, you need to, rather than doing 5-6 a week, you need to be doing 5-6 a day. It's so funny because it's full circle. I'm now where Trey was. Like we're doing, just for some context, we're doing about £115,000 per month at the moment. And we're setting on average about 20 to 25 appointments per day. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. So simple maths, right, guys? So if you guys are only doing like, for example, like 5,000 a month, you're probably doing like 20 appointments a month, right? You just have to set more appointments. That's the first thing, Chris, that I've noticed what you said out of everything there. Second thing is, did you say they don't seem to be excited to jump on a call with you?
No, they actually are very excited to hop on the call, but it's just like in the call itself, they're very happy and excited about the actual offer itself. But then when it actually comes to collecting the money, they say, "Oh, I'll let you know," and all this stuff. You know.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so here's some really great advice I can give you guys. So first of all, you need to manage that. So is it a 1 call close or a 2 call close that you do, Chris?
We're kind of like split testing at 1 and 2. Like usually after the first qualifying call, they would say, oh yes, 100% next call, and then like they'd half the time wouldn't even show up for the second one.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like split testing
Yeah.
at the moment.
Okay. Well, yeah, in an ideal world, if you can close them on the first call, then fantastic. Yeah, what helps to close on the first call is, again, case studies, results, and testimonials, right? Again, remember what I was speaking with Jamie about? That's what actually converts people. It's actually not your fucking how you overturn an objection. Sure, those things help on a minute scale, but what actually gets them to already be in a buying mindset is seeing all your results and case studies. So that's why all of our calls is literally all one call close. But anyway, to go back to your call, Chris. So first of all, what I'd recommend you doing, brother, when they book a call with you, so let's just say you use Calendly. I'm assuming you use Calendly or Go High Level, right? One of the booking softwares. Once they book, they need to be redirected to a thank you for booking page. And on this thank you for booking page, there needs to be a video on there that explains exactly who you are, what is it that you do, who do you offer, what can they expect on a call. This is the one that I'm going to focus on. What can they expect on a call? And then just case studies and testimonials if you have them. All right. Now, the fourth one, which is what can they expect on a call? In my thank you for booking page, I literally tell them that that I will explain to you, first of all, I will ask you some questions about where you're at and what you're struggling with. I'll try to identify, your pain points within the business and what's stopping you from scaling. And if I truly believe that me and my X service can help you scale, I will then explain to you how we can actually implement our service and how it will help and benefit your company. And if you believe this is a good fit, I will then ask you to make a decision at the end of the call. So just to remind you, Chris, I will need you and any other decision maker on this call, as I will be asking you at the end of the call to make a decision, whether it's a yes or a no. I just wanted to be completely clear, so we're not, so we're both on the same page. All right. So just because you've said that, like, they'll now understand, all right, fair enough. Like, this guy, Chris, is going to ask me whether I want to sign up to his whatever he's doing at the end of this call. Yeah. And also, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to like say these things on these videos, right? Because this is at least maybe it's just me personally, but me personally, I would always like try to avoid the uncomfortable, like that awkward fucking part, which is like you are having to ask them for money, right? But at the end of the day, like, you're gonna have to fucking do it sooner or later anyway. So you might as well let them know straight away at the beginning. And also something that I've noticed as well, and I wouldn't say I'm like some fucking rich guy, like this high level in entrepreneurship, but just the level where I'm at now, like a 6-figure a month business. I've noticed that for me, what I appreciate are people who are just very straight up and just tell me how it is. Like, I don't want to be told one thing in the DMs, jump on a sales call, and then it's completely something else. Like, I'd much rather you tell me exactly what it is. If I think it's worth my time, I'll jump on a call and probably invest there and then. Right. So most of your business owners, or most of your clients, will be the same way, right? They're probably making anywhere from, 30 to 200K a month, if not more. So cool. So that's the thank you for booking video. If you guys don't have that, it's a must. Thank you for booking videos or pages are must. The next is when you actually jump on the call, you double check with them. Cool. So hi, John. Great to see you, blah, blah, blah. So just to double check, did you get a chance to watch that video? You did? Yes. Fantastic. So on the video, you must have seen that I mentioned you must have all your decision makers on this call. Just to double check, is it just yourself that will be in charge of making the decision by the end of this call for your company? Yes. All right. Fantastic. We can move on. No. Oh, who else is involved? Oh, is James available to jump on? If he isn't, then you need to rebook when they're both available. Yeah. If he is available, then wait for him to jump on. Fantastic. And then go for it. Again, there's no point doing the whole fucking call if there are 2 decision makers. And at the end of the call, their excuse to not sign up is, oh, well, let me speak to so-and-so. Because that's the most common like fucking cop out. Like, for example, me, I have a business partner, like his name's Harry. Me and him, like, we trust each other enough to make a decision like this, right? If it's something more than 10,000 a month, we will relay with each other. Anything that costs us less than 10,000 a month, I can make a decision. He'll be okay with it, vice versa. So most of your prospects that you're speaking with, they're like that as well. They're just bullshitting. They don't need to discuss it, especially if it's like 1,000 a month. It's not that much. Now the last thing is on the actual sales part. So this is right at the end of the sales call. You just have to push them, right? So what do I mean by that? So when they say like, oh, let me think about it, Okay, Chris. Well, what is there to think about? I'm just curious, by the way. And typically it's one of two things. Is it my service or is it the price of it that I need to think about? That's literally what I would say. And there's a reason why I say that, because 9 out of 10 times they say it's the price. If they say it's the service, fantastic. Let's talk about it. The only person who you can get more information from about my service is me. I'm gonna call. Let's talk about it. But like 9 out of 10 times they don't say it's the service, it's the price. And I know they're going to say the price. So when they say it's the price, this is also, by the way, why you guys need to charge high. So let's just say, Chris, you want to close somebody at 1,000, right? Like in your head, you actually want to close them for 1,000 a month. When you're pitching them, you want to pitch at 3,000 because the odd person will say yes to 3,000, but more often than not, they'll want to negotiate the price down and you probably end up at 1.5 or 2K anyway. But if you start at 1,000, if you pitch them at 1,000, well, you can only go down from it. You can't fucking go to 1.5K, right? That wouldn't make sense. You can only go down from 1,000. So anyway, so that's what I would always do. I would pitch my law firm clients to like 5,000, 7,000 a month. I would also, in my thank you for booking video, I would literally say the word for word. By the way, we're not cheap. We're very expensive. We're definitely going to be more expensive than our competition. And actually, it's a really good thing that I would say that is because it kind of makes them. So we naturally, as humans, we want to get what we can't attain, right? Naturally. So when you feel like, this is going to be, that's why people like these watches and these expensive cars and shit. Not just for the price, but there is an aspect of that makes it more valuable and makes it, people want it more because it's hard to attain. With the service, it's the same thing. So when you make yourself seem hard to attain, they will want you more, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, in the video, I'll literally say like, we're not cheap. We're gonna be the most expensive agency that you've spoken to, but there's a reason for that is because we deliver the best results in the industry. Yeah. And when you jump in a call, and also, by the way, one more thing, I'll leave you with this as well. I'm trying to give as much value, but I'm kind of going all over the place here. One more thing that actually helps with sales massively, other than case studies and results and testimonials, is your tonality and your confidence when you say it, right? Now, when you're starting out, yes, it's fucking difficult to have confidence and that tonality because you don't even know what the fuck you're selling. Like you're selling air, right? For your first couple of clients, you don't know if it's going to fucking work or not, right? You're just hoping. But eventually, once you guys have enough case studies and testimonials, you need to get them be excited about it. Because if the person is just sitting there and they're just fucking bored and you're just waiting for you to stop talking, right? He's not going to buy. You need to have those pauses. You need to have the tonality that goes up and down. You need to ask them a question. You need to keep them engaged. Even these old people, their fucking attention span is low as well. I know us, like we're all young, right? Like everyone who watches TikToks and shit, like our attention span's fucked anyway. But even the older generation, like their attention span is still very, very low. So you need to keep asking them questions your entire sales call, keeping them engaged. And make sure that whenever you are selling your service, you are selling your service with your conviction and the way you like say it. So that's it. That's it from me.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Perfect.
Cool, Chris. Luke is next on my screen.
Yeah. What's going on, bro? I'm getting so much value from this, by the way. Thanks a lot.
Wicked, man. That's what I'm here for.
Well, one question I wanted to ask was, how are you currently marketing your services, and what do you think is the best way to market services like SaaS or marketing or anything like that?
Okay, great question. So first of all, everything is organic at the moment. We are literally launching paid ads as we speak. I literally paid somebody last Sunday. So we will be launching paid ads, but at the moment, everything is organic. So you got, just remember, I'm in a different industry. One second, guys. Harry just came back home. So, yeah, so just remember, I'm in a completely different industry. So I'm in info products. So yeah, just keep that in mind, but I'll just give you like what we're doing right now, right? So 80% of what we're doing is short form content right now. So this is Instagram Reels, TikToks, and YouTube Shorts is what we're primarily focused on. The volume of those is roughly, we do about 3 TikToks a day on my main account, We then do another free on a second account, and then now, so that's 6 TikToks per day. And then we've also just launched the affiliate program, which is probably going to be like fucking 100 TikToks a day. But you know, that aside, we're doing like 6 a day on TikTok. We're doing free YouTube shorts, and we're also doing free Instagram reels. Okay. Now, granted, again, Luke, just for context, brother, I have a whole team. I don't do any of them. So again, I just want to give you guys as much context, because for me, like when I was starting out, I'd want to do all this stuff, but there's only 24 hours in a day. So for you, I would just focus on maybe doing like, well, to be honest, the great thing is you can do the same free TikToks, just re-uploaded as a reel and as a YouTube short. But anyway, so most of it is short form content. We do 2 YouTube videos per day, so long form. So Mondays and Fridays, we do a long form piece of content. And that's the main thing. What we try to do as well, so we have obviously a paid Discord community with our paid members. As soon as we see a result in there, we book in a student interview. So we try and pump those out as much as possible. Those are typically once every 2 weeks, so a student interview. I do podcasts. I do a fuck ton of podcasts as well. Like, say yes to every single podcast, even if they have like 200 views per video. Just say yes to it. Not only is it like the whole 2-hour or 1 hour long podcast, like that's a piece of content, but within that, you're going to get like 20 different pieces of TikTok that you can re-upload and schedule as well. Those are the main things that we're doing for marketing right now. We're not really, like I said, doing paid ads. We're not really too big on email at the moment. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It's just we haven't really been focused on it at the moment. We're not really big on Facebook. I'm starting Twitter, but I'm not big on Twitter at the moment.
Gotcha, man. That's brilliant there. And then I just have one other question. It's a bit off topic from this, but do you have any tips yourself for increasing productivity, focus, energy, all that? Okay,
cool. So when I was starting out, I would be one of these guys who, and also, by the way, I think everybody in life is in like different stages, and at different stages, you must focus and prioritize different things. So for example, where I'm at right now, I am making, like, you don't even understand how much more money I'm making right now than I was obviously when I was starting out, right? But what I'm doing right now is like a complete 180 to what I was doing when I was starting out, like my day to day. All right. So when I was starting out, my day to day would typically look like waking up at 5 a.m. And I genuinely mean this, hand on heart, I'm not bullshitting. I genuinely would wake up at 5 a.m. Without a shadow of a doubt, wake up at 5 a.m. and be in the gym for about 6 a.m., be at home for about 6:30ish, shower, eat some breakfast, and start work from 9. So from 9 in the morning till about 12, like midday, I would do a solid block of work. And then from 12 till about 1, I would obviously have my lunch and just have a break, whatever. And then from 1 till about 3 or 4, I'd do my second work block. Then from about 4 till 5, I'd have another break. And then I'd do another work block till about, however long I could go till, maybe till 10, 11 p.m. And then I'll just rinse and repeat that for, I swear to fucking God, for like 2 years. I'm not joking when I say this. I would be the most boring motherfucker out there. I wouldn't do anything. I would cook my own food because I didn't have money. This is when I was living in a house share. I obviously wouldn't go out. As you can imagine, I was so fucking boring. I wouldn't really socialize. I had no video games. I didn't have a Netflix. I've never had a Netflix account. That's all I would do. Now, my day-to-day is completely fucking different. I'll be completely transparent. I wake up now probably like 10, 11 in the morning. I go to sleep or about 4 a.m. by the way. Not because like I'm working really hard. I'll be completely honest. Like I'm about as transparent as it gets, right? I roll out of bed at about 11. If I'm feeling like it, I will go to the gym in the morning. If I don't, I will definitely go in the evening. Gym is one thing that I've never like avoided. Like gym, I will 100% go gym, but it's just whether I go in the morning or evening. It depends how I feel in the morning. And then, so this is where I was going to get to. This is my main piece of advice I wanted to get to answer your question, Luke, is one thing that I've realized in life, in entrepreneurship, is it's not actually about how many things you do. in a day. It's like, what is it that you do in a day? So instead of, and this is how I got into this whole story, because when I was first starting out, I'd have a daily to-do list of like 20 things. Like I'd fucking have like 13, 15 different things on my checklist I'd have to do, the next day. Before I go sleep, I'd write out this massive checklist, right? And that's how I would do it for like a year. And sure, it worked. But now what I've realized is there's actually really only like 3 core things that you must get done every single day. As long as you get these 3 core things done every single day, your business is moving forward at least a fucking little bit every single day. And with the compound effect, if you zoom out, all of a sudden that little increase every single day, it looks like this, right? Over a course of a long period of time. So to answer your question, Luke, how do I increase productivity and just basically getting more shit done and moving the business forward, right? Because that's all we want. We all as entrepreneurs, we want to maximize our time and efficiency as much as possible. Don't actually get too caught up in the small little micros within your day to day. Really focus on the big hitting things that are going to move your business forward. Right. So again, this is why I said every person has a different stage, different life within their business and so on. But when you're starting out, your main thing should be how much content have I produced? How many appointments have I set? And how many sales calls have I taken? Right. That's like your beginning stage. Maybe like your intermediate could be something like how many sales calls have I taken? Because at this point, you're probably not, setting appointments. Have I checked in with my team members? And have I checked in with my clients, right? That's maybe like your intermediate. And kind of where I'm at now, the only things that I really do is content, checking in with my staff members. And if I need to, I'm looking for like, I'm always looking for new A-star players. So I'm always looking to hire like the best people. So that's kind of how my day is now, Luke. Yeah. So don't get caught up on like trying to maximize it, because at least for me, bro, when I was starting out, I'd always get caught up in like feeling like I haven't done enough. But in reality, bro, we actually get so fucking much done in a day. Sure, there are some days when we're honestly fucking like lazy and we don't get shit done. But in the grand scheme of things, most days we get a lot done and we take it for granted. And so just focus on 3 main things that you must do every single day, and just get those done every day, brother, and you'll be good.
That's amazing. Thank you very much. I'll pass it off to Daniel there.
Thanks, Luke. Hey, Marcus, what's up?
That's good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks so much for hopping on this call with us. Really solid advice, bro.
We're good. I'm all good. Thanks.
I have one question I'm really curious about, and I'm surprised no one's asked it yet. But do you refer to yourself as a pimp?
Absolutely not. What was somebody, I forgot what the fuck it was. It was like inspirational something. Frankie commented it. Hold on, let me find it. I'll tell you what I am. Where is it? Has he deleted it? Oh, he deleted his Instagram, so his comment got deleted. But it was like PIMP stands for person that inspires, motivates, something.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one too. Yeah. Pretty good job description to have on your LinkedIn, I'd say.
It's funny. When I first started like OFM, because my mom would obviously ask me, like, me and her are very close. I just have my mom in my life. And she would ask me like, so what do you do nowadays? Because there was so much money coming in. Yeah, I explained to her, obviously, like I manage OnlyFans models here and there. And we had like a whole fucking half an hour long conversation about it. And the end of the conversation, she was like, right, so you're just a modern age pimp. I was like, I mean, fuck, man, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, how can I help, man?
That's something to be proud of, though. So yeah, my first question will be, how do you make the lives of OnlyFans models easier?
Sorry, say again, the lives
of OnlyFans models easier? Like, how do you like solve their problems and add value to their business?
Sure. You mean the actual models themselves, yeah? So the creators. Yeah. So obviously 2 main things, right? But then obviously those get narrowed down into so many little things. So the 2 main things is 1, saving time, and 2, increasing income, which is the basics of a service-based business, right? So in terms of saving time, when I tell you like our models all they have to do is follow what we tell them to do and just create content. That is fucking it, right? So before we jump on board, what the girls have to do is they have to think about what content to create. They have to record it. They have to edit it. They have to schedule it on TikTok, or not schedule it, post it themselves on TikTok, write the caption on TikTok. They have to now do the same fucking thing on Instagram, and also like Twitter if they use it. Also, by the way, that's just one piece of content. They have to redo that whole thing 3 times every day, like 3 bits of TikToks, 3 bits of Instagram Reels, and so on and so on. Then they have to tweet every single day. They have to do shout out for shout out. They have to find other girls to do shout outs with. They have to make sure they don't get banned on social media. If they do get banned on social media, they lose all the traffic, so have to restart all again and blah, blah, blah. So that's just half of it. That was just social media. Now let's talk about OF. OF is the thing that obviously makes the money. So this is where they must spend most of their time. So on OnlyFans itself, they must always be there to answer questions. They must understand how to not waste their time by speaking to guys who aren't interested in paying in the first place. They must know how to actually upsell and downsell, which most of them don't know. They must know how to keep the subs there. They must know how to re-engage them. So if they cancel their subscription, how to get them back to subscribe. And again, I'm not going to bore you guys, but I can go on and on and on and on here. So that's the main one in terms of saving time. Yeah. Oh, and also the biggest one obviously is the chatting. So they literally have to be there till about 3 a.m. And just reply to these messages and be talking to these fucking horny ass guys, right? So that's the biggest one in terms of time. When we come on board, the only thing they have to do is follow the content that we tell them to do. That is it. We do everything else. We do the chatting for them. We do the selling for them. We do the marketing for them. We do the distribution for them. We do the shout out for them. We give them the content ideas for them. In some cases, we do the editing for them. Yeah, you name it. We kind of do that whole thing for them there. Cool. That's the first part, which is saving them time. The second thing is in terms of income. I mean, the average girl before they join us is normally making anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000. After they've joined us, they're making about anywhere from 30 to 100,000 a month. So income is naturally going to increase simply because we have a team that do it for them. It's the same as yourself, Daniel. Let's just say you wanted to be a property, like a real estate agent, right? Instead of you running the whole business by yourself, so you have to every morning open up your fucking office, you have to do calls, you have to organize viewings, you have to go do the viewings, you have to take the offers, you have to talk to the homeowner, you have to accept the offer, negotiate the offer, you have to get the solicitors in, you have to take a new property on, you have to take the photos of the property. You get what I'm trying to say, right? Instead of you running about and doing the whole fucking thing by yourself, you're going to eventually hire people to delegate certain things so you can make more money and save more time. It's the same principle. So hopefully that's answered your question there, Dan or Daniel.
Yeah, man, that's really interesting to see how the business works. Yeah, just one more question kind of linked with that. Kind of like long story short, there's a girl I met when I was living in Spain last year, and this was when I started off doing social media management, and kind of towards the end, like I couldn't really get that much cash flow with it, so I'm doing paid ads now. And I'd actually met her towards the end, and when I mentioned I did social media management, she said she'd always wanted to start an OnlyFans, but she hasn't a clue how social media works. And I'd already decided that I'm doing paid ads now. I was already did like a course for it, and didn't really have much interest in helping her because I wasn't really sure if it would work and like how much money it would be. So it would be more of a side gig if I was to do something like that. But she's in Colombia now. Just say if I was to work with her, would it be better off posting from an Irish SIM card on TikTok? I assume TikTok's the place to go in terms of marketing, like the main channel. Would it be better posting from an Irish SIM card or from her phone where she's in South America?
Definitely the Irish one, bro. Because the main reason, by the way, is you just got to remember that in Colombia, let's just say her monthly subscription for OF is like $10, even if it's $5, like USD. Like $5 is still a lot more for somebody in Colombia than it is for somebody in Ireland, UK, Europe. So yeah, definitely focus on the Irish one, Irish SIM card.
Yeah. And what sort of expectations would you give, like, just say after working like the first month, if everything was to go to plan? Actually, probably a better question to ask first would be, like, how would you recommend starting off with something like that, where I kind of know the basics on like social media growth, but I have no experience managing any OnlyFans models.
Fantastic. Well, in this instance as well, by the way, Daniel, you're saying like you've met the girl before and you know each other, right? Like in real
Yeah.
life. Cool.
Yeah.
So in this instance, I would 1,000,000% recommend you to be completely transparent with her and say that she is the first OF model that you're going to be managing. So the reason why I would recommend you doing that is because then if you fuck up or something goes wrong, she's not going to be mad at you. Like you've told her, hey, by the way, just so you know, like you are going to be the first model I manage, but I know what I'm doing when it comes to marketing. So first of all, I'd recommend you saying that to her. Where would you start? So she doesn't have an OF yet, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
She doesn't really post on social media. She was sort of asking me to like help in terms of like content posting ideas. Like her biggest fear was like starting it and then like no one signing up and her posting half naked bodies all over the internet. Like she only thinks it's worth it if she's for sure gonna make money.
Well, this is the conundrum, and this is also why in our course I literally tell guys to not work with girls who are just starting out, because a lot of them, they quit before it gets good. Like it all is worthwhile. Like the girl can justify it in her head. It's really interesting, by the way, the psychology behind girls, because they'll be like, oh no, I would never do that. Da, da, da. But then when they're making 20,000 a month themselves, all of a sudden they can justify it and it's okay in their head to do it. But prior to that, they think, nah, this is, oh my God, blah, blah. But anyway, I'm not going to, be one of these like misogynists here talking about the female psychology. Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend working with new models unless in this instance, there is a caveat in this instance where like, her and you can trust her. What can you expect in the first month will honestly depend on her output in terms of content. So as long as she can do it full time and she's happy to do all types of content on OnlyFans, so like full nude, etc., you should be aiming for 5,000. Realistically, you're probably going to end up about $3,000. But if she has no social media presence at all, you're actually probably going to end up maybe about $2,000 in the first month.
Within 30 days.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for a side hustle.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, yeah, I'll probably get lost in like the value, but yeah, to be honest, that's it's not bad. But again, just remember that's if she's doing it every day, full day, like all day, every day, right? If she's posting TikToks, Reels, YouTube Shorts, she's going all in. Yeah.
Cool, man. That's really interesting. Yeah, that's everything from me, bro. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Or just refer to Markuss and you can earn them fat fucking affiliates.
I'll have to have a good think about it.
Yeah, Isaac, if you want to go next, bro.
Yeah. Hi, Markuss. Thanks for coming on this call with us. I was gonna ask a similar question to Daniel about sort of like how you market girls, that sort of thing, but because you already answered that, this is just out of curiosity. In like the entrepreneurship space, right? Like the advice is don't watch porn, don't do that sort of thing. So like morally, like do you face a dilemma with like those type of guys not funding, but I don't know, they earn you money, right? But then I'm assuming your advice would be to not do that. Is that a moral dilemma for you?
What a great question. Honestly, this is a really good question. Cool. So first of all, give you some context. So before I got into OnlyFans management, I didn't know anything about it. Like, obviously I knew what OnlyFans was and I wasn't like a fucking idiot. Like I understood that it's X-rated adult content. But I didn't do any research. I didn't know any girls that were doing it. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I just kind of was doing it for fun at first, right? For fun / also like obviously making money. Then I realized that it's actually a lot easier to make money with OFM than it is with SMMA. So I quit my SMA and took this full time. And then at that point, it was pretty much like I was fucking knees deep into this whole industry. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just carry on. But what's really interesting is like I've always said this, and I'll be open about it. I believe that OnlyFans as a whole is like it's not fucking good for the society as an overall. Like overall, it's just not. Sure, the girl makes a bit of cash, but long term, the girl's fucked. And the guys who pay on there, I mean, they're lost anyway. Like, there's no helping them. They're gonna. The one thing to answer your question in particular, Isaac, and I've said this on a podcast before, which the guy on a podcast, he was like, do you feel like morally like bad taking money or like almost, you know, making these guys pay on OnlyFans? No. Simple answer is no, because one, you have to legally be 18 and over to have an account on the platform, and you literally have to send your ID and so on and so on. You have to prove that you're 18 and over to use the platform. So they're all adults that use the platform, first of all. Second of all, no one's holding a fucking gun to their head to go onto the platform and let alone spend money, right?
Yeah.
And third of all, these motherfuckers that are spending money on OF, they're going to spend the money somewhere anyway, right? Most of these guys who are spending money on OnlyFans, like they're not like anybody here on a call, right? Like they're not most of them probably aren't building a business. Sure, there are like the odd instances like who just like, oh fuck it, it's only $5, let me see what's on there, right? But I'm talking about the guys who religiously go on there and like they spend money every single fucking month. Those are probably like very socially awkward guys who probably don't go out. If they do go out, they definitely don't speak to girls in person. And this is just something where, yeah, they're spending money, but they're still getting that satisfaction of speaking to a girl and at least getting that quote unquote intimate feeling, right? Which is it's just online. So no, I don't feel morally bad like that they're spending money with these models. However, how do I feel about OnlyFans as a whole? Not very fucking like, I'm not hoorah, like I think everybody should do OnlyFans, like hell no. I think it's an easy way to make money, that's for sure. I don't advise girls getting into it. I literally don't. If you are going to get into it as a girl or as a guy, it doesn't fucking matter, but guys obviously a lot easier to get out and change your career. But with a girl, if you are going to get into it, and this is something that we pride ourselves in, this is also why we are one of the best in the industry, is every single girl that does join us, before they join us and as they're working with us, we already are working towards an exit plan. It's funny because like I always say this on the calls as well with our models, it's like we are shooting ourselves in the foot because like we're literally telling them that, look, we want you to fucking go away like in a couple of years time. Like we don't want to be working with you and managing your OnlyFans for the rest of your life. So we kind of try and help them build an actual brand of actual real followers, make them build an e-com brand, maybe a merchandise brand, whatever it is that they want to pursue. We want to help them build that. And kind of have an exit plan, right? Because if they just want to do OnlyFans for the rest of their life, well, sooner or later they're going to get older, and no one's going to want to buy their fucking flaps. So hopefully that's answered your question there, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I like when I asked it, I was thinking more on like the guy's side, and yeah, I agree. Like if they're gonna just spend the money, they're gonna spend it. Like they're gonna spend it, but like the fact that you have they're building a brand, and then from that following you have other stuff they can sell their audience other than just porn. Like, yeah, that seems like a good idea. Is it all right if I ask you one more question? So basically I'm on a gap year at the moment, and all of my friends they've gone to uni, so like at the moment I'm able to just focus on trying to grow a business, being productive, being disciplined. But next year I'm going to uni, and like when people are out drinking, out smoking, do you have any advice to maybe find friends that aren't into that, or is it just the discipline of just keep working and ignore the distractions?
Yeah, are you gonna have like your friends right now, right? They're the type of guys to do that.
I mean, it's like half and half. Some of them are getting into entrepreneurship, some of them still, smoking weed, drinking, that sort of thing.
Cool. So you know the answer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's fair enough.
It's obviously I don't mean to be rude or anything, but it's always the simple stuff, right? It's always the simple things that like we like to overcomplicate it, but you know the answer there, bro. Just fucking stop associating yourself so much with the people who have bad intentions. They're not fucking horrible people. Like they might be nice people, but if they don't have the same goals and visions as you and an ambition as you, they're only going to drag you down, bro. And again, they might not mean to, but naturally they will. So just stop fucking hanging around with them. You'll find like I'll give you some pre-warning, right? Because this is what happened to me. And typically this is what will happen. They will ask you to come out like maybe 4 or 5 times, maybe 10 up to 10 times. 10 is a bit too much, probably 4 or 5 times. And every time, obviously 4 or 5 times you say no, it's going to get closer and closer for them to stop asking you. After about 5th time that you've said no, they're probably going to stop asking you. They're going to start chatting shit about you behind your back. This is normal. Don't worry. Especially when they start seeing you start winning and start doing something about your life, that's when they're definitely going to start chatting shit about you. So don't take it to heart. It's just simply they're jealous, and the fact that they are seeing you win, which is kind of an inwards reflection of what they could have become, because they had the same opportunity. They went to the same uni with you. They had the same 24 hours in a day as you did, but you've done something with those 24 hours and they haven't. And now they're almost like pissed off with themselves. And the way they project that out is by chatting shit about you. So it's not personal. It's actually themselves just being angry at themselves. So focus on hanging around with those 5 guys that you said who are into entrepreneurship and want to do something about it.
Okay, yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Sweet. All right, Kieran, bro, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, are we running over time? Have we got a few more minutes?
No, keep her going anyway.
Okay,
I'm good.
Firstly, Mark, thank you for joining the call. You've shared a lot of value so far. I'll just ask one question. What's your vision for your businesses and your agency in 2023? And do you think that you'll ever sell your agency? And if you are, do you think it's like the agency that you run, it's a sellable asset? And have you seen anyone else in the industry sell their agency? And what kind of EBITDA or multiples do they typically sell at?
Great question, bro. So future with my companies, so there's a bunch of things that I've got going on. Like OnlyFans isn't it's the main thing, at least online. In terms of income, to be honest, it is the main thing. But I've got a bunch of other things that we've got going on in the background. I would absolutely love to get into SaaS in the near future, because I believe that's where the easy 100 M's exit is. I'm not into SaaS at the moment, but that's something I'd love to get into. In terms of the actual agency itself, I mean, yes, physically, like you could exit. It's fairly difficult on the base, at least for me personally, on the basis that Aura Consulting, we kind of fucked up a little bit on the basis that the coaching you definitely cannot sell because like I am the brand, like I am the reason why people buy mostly is because of like they see me and they want to talk to me. So if I was to be gone, it would be like at least a year, maybe 2-year transition where I'd have to replace myself. Like Aura would have to be represented by somebody else. That would be about a 2-year transition most likely, and it probably wouldn't go down well anyway. But the management agency is also called Aura. So it's Aura Consulting and Aura Coaching. So there'll probably be some legal issues with like the branding because the logo is identical. The logo is the same. Yeah. So, I mean, in terms of exit, I'm not planning on exiting. I don't think I will. We've kind of narrowed it down anyway, our agency right now. We're not working with tons of models anyway. We're just focused on the coaching side of things. But there is somebody, I don't actually know how true this is, but there's a guy on YouTube, Black Hat, Only Black Hat, I believe. If you go on YouTube and search Only Black Hat, he had an OnlyFans agency and he apparently sold it. I don't know if this is true or not, but he did. I don't think he's even mentioned how much he sold it for. But if you're interested, have a watch on some of his videos. I believe there's one video he literally explains the whole process on how he done it.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
No problem. Any other questions, by the way, Karen?
Well, yeah, if we've got a few minutes, then well, whenever I see someone that's like in their 20s, about around my age, I'm interested, and if they're that level that you're at, I'm most interested to know, where did you learn, like who are some of the people that you learned from to get where you're at now?
Cool, man. So you mean in just like business and life
Yeah,
and just
business. Yeah,
everything, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Cool. So first of all, I've never had like one mentor.
Yeah.
I've never like I've never paid to like have one-on-one mentorship with anybody. Main reason, I never had the money. It's funny, I was actually talking to my business partner today. I think we should do it because like we can easily afford it now. But it's almost like now it's hard to find somebody who has actually done more than what we've done, especially in our industry. No one's done more than what we've done in our industry. So it's like, who the fuck are we going to pay without sounding like big-headed? But when I was starting out, how did I learn, etc. So first of all, the biggest thing was like through mistakes. Something that I'm very, very, very good at somehow. Don't ask me how, by the way. I wish I could tell you, but I just genuinely have this natural instinct of not over complicating and not stressing about making mistakes and fucking up. Somehow, ever since I was a young kid, I always understood that making mistakes and fucking up is just a lesson. You're just learning something along your journey, right? Especially in business. So one thing that I'd always do is I would always, like every single month and every single week, try and just fucking break something. I know it sounds crazy and backwards, but I genuinely would. I would always try and push everything to like the limits and try and like do something in a different way and just see whether it would work or not. And most of the time, obviously, it wouldn't work. And then I would learn from it and adapt from it from that way. So I'd always learn from my own mistakes. That was the biggest one. Because again, I didn't have money for, all these courses. A big one was definitely books. I would read a lot of books about psychology. I've never really read like fictional books or any of that bullshit. It would always be like psychology and sales books. Another big one as well is I would always, whenever I would network, and how I would network, by the way, I would go to like car meetups. And I don't mean like normal, like I'm talking like super car meetups, like those, events, etc. And, I was a young kid. I was like 18, 19 years old at this point. And I would always like just go up to these old guys and just I'd say, nice car, yeah, fantastic, but what do you do? What kind of advice do you have? And what's really interesting is these older guys, they really, really appreciate seeing a young guy like us, for example, asking them for advice, because a lot of the times they probably don't get that. And also on top of that, they probably see themselves, their younger selves in us, right? So they go out of their way to help me and give me advice. One of my again, this is just luck, but one of my friends from back in college, his mother got divorced and then got with who's now his stepdad, and he happens to be a multi-millionaire. Like, he has a massive mansion in the south of the UK. And obviously I would still be friends with him. I was friends with him obviously prior to that, just from college, but I would go visit him and I'd go around the mansion and I would just speak with a guy like his new stepdad. And again, just ask him like for advice in business, and don't ever be afraid to like even ask silly questions and just learn about absolutely anything. But to cut a long story short, Kieran, like the main ways how I would learn, brother, is through making mistakes and learning from them, adapting from them. One thing that I wish I didn't do, and this is something that's quite funny, I done this, I put this on my Instagram story. One thing that I wish I didn't do as much is when you're starting out and you're making less than 10,000 a month profit, and this was me, I wish I didn't go out of my way to try and network with so many people like online, because here's what you'll find, guys. Most people online bullshit. They only bullshit to boost their own ego and stroke their own ego to make themselves feel better. So when somebody says they're doing like 50,000 a month, they might have had one good month where they made like 45,000. And in reality, they're making like 25,000. Again, nothing wrong with that, obviously. But the point I'm trying to make is, before you're making 10K, especially if you're making like 5,000 a month, absolutely fine, of course. But what you'll find is when you talk to a lot of people who are at that level, they'll try and say they're like, yeah, I'm making 12, 15,000, just again to kind of fit in and boost their own ego. And the problem with that is most of the time, obviously, they're not doing those numbers, aka they haven't done something to achieve that income. If they haven't done something to achieve that income, they don't know what they're talking about. So if you're asking them for advice, because again, the whole point of fucking networking is you network and you ask for advice from each other and you all develop and you learn and get better, right? if this guy is saying he's made 12,000, 15,000 a month, and you ask him for advice and he gives you this advice, but in reality he's bullshit and he just doesn't know what he's talking about, and you take that advice as gospel and you implement it and it doesn't work, it's just a waste of everyone's time. So one advice I would give is, if you're doing like less than 10K a month, try not to like go out of your way to try and network with people. Put your head down, get your work done, achieve something, respectable with your business. So then therefore, when you're having a conversation with somebody, you can provide some value in that conversation. It's real, you're talking from experience. And that's kind of advice I'd give there. Hope that's helped you, Kieran.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks a lot, Mark. That's it for me.
Awesome. Cool.
Perfect.
And then last but not least, we got Ivan.
Hey, how's it going, mate? I'm sorry to like keep you on for longer.
Oh, good.
Thanks so much. So this is something about what we were talking about earlier on with the ebook and the course. So it's in regards to what Robert was saying. So myself and Robert are both business partners, and we're kind of working together on this. And I liked the idea that you have for a course along with the ebook. I think that's really valuable. So my question to you is, do you think it would be a good idea if we kind of gave away the ebook for free and then upsold them for a course, or vice versa? What do you think would be a smarter idea? Because we can use one as a lead gen, as a free lead gen, but at the end, we can kind of explain them, oh, this is what the ebook is about, and this is how you should interpret it, and things like that. Or we can do the vice versa, free course, and here's a PDF version of the guide if you want it.
Yeah, very interesting, bro. Very interesting. So I like the idea, which is like you give them the ebook for free, but then if they wanted to actually watch the course or video of you breaking it down, that would be like $20, $30, whatever. Couple of things. First of all, I don't think you'd have high conversion from people that would get the ebook for free and then they would pay to get the same value, but just you saying it, right? And I know you could add some like extra little bits here and there in the video, but the concept would be the same as the fucking ebook, right? So I don't think your conversions would be that high, bro. That's the only problem. The second thing is as well, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not in the industry anymore and I haven't been for years, so I might be wrong, but I just don't know how well just ebooks alone, do they actually work anymore as lead magnets? Like, do people actually are willing to give their details just to get a free PDF, like an ebook? I don't know. Hopefully, I hope it works for you, but I just feel that's also why I suggested the whole course idea, right? Yeah. Because one, it's the same information, but the fact that you position it and you word it as a course and as this whole, course, right? It seems like it's more valuable. It's different than a PDF. And it has more tangible value to it, at least in my head. Like if somebody says to me a course and an ebook, I believe that the course has more value than an ebook. Yeah. So I would probably, if you want my advice, I would probably just advise going with the course. And just selling it for, again, I don't know, but just try it anywhere from like $15 to like $37.
Got it. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, just wanted your 2 cents on it, to be honest. Thanks a lot.
Good.
Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Cool, Ivan. Thanks for jumping on. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on and asking the questions, by the way, guys. That was fun.
Looks like it's it. But one last closing question for me, back to what Jamie was saying about how to win friends and influence people at book. Just the last one for everyone. Like, what's the 3 books in terms of like business mindset, literally all that good stuff? Like, what's your 3 book recommendations for everyone?
Cool. So by far, How to Win Friends and Influence People has to be number 1. And funny enough, actually, by the way, that was the first ever book that I read when I started entrepreneurship. Obviously, prior to that, I read like some bullshit in school, but that doesn't count. So yeah, How to Win Friends and Influence People, definitely. The Magic of Thinking Big is definitely a great one. 48 Laws of Power. I know that's already free. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Super good. $100 Million Offers. Probably one of the best practical books that you'll ever read. The Motivation Myth. That is a fantastic book as well. It's fucking really short and easy to read. Yeah, I'll leave you with those ones. And the last one, actually, one more. This is quite a lot, but these are the best ones that I've read. is How to Think Like a Roman Emperor. It's a fantastic read as well. Yeah.
All right, perfect, bro. Sounds good. I cheers for your time, and I'm sure everyone was saying the same. But yeah, no, that's us. Hopefully, we'll get you back in again someday when the crypto's bigger. You've plenty of value from that one, and that's for sure. I've seen everyone, people taking notes and stuff there anyway.
Wicked. Thank you for having me. Yeah, that
Alright.
was super fun, guys. Thanks for asking me the questions.
Thank you,
Hope you all
Markuss. I
succeed
appreciate
in-
it, man.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Marcus.
Yeah.
Cheers, Marcus.
Take care, guys.
Wish you all okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Wicked. Bye bye.